Hello, friends. How's it going? It seems we're flooding. I'm going to pause. I literally just unpaused this game, and all of a sudden everything's flooded. But it's good to see you. And I am very concerned, because I don't know why this is flooded. But at any rate, got a very late start today. Had a whole lot of stuff I had to take care of. Important and good stuff. But good to be here. I don't know why this has... Oh, you know what? You know what I bet happened? Yeah. This was all natural overhangs. This was all natural overhangs. And now it's completely just... now it's completely filled in. Because they changed the natural overhangs. Oh, this update, I swear, man. So, we're going to keep this paused. Because now what has happened is this has become completely unusable. Ah, come on, man. I literally just started streaming this. I hadn't even thought about it. This map has so many overhangs in it. It's going to be just an absolute mess. We're going to have to examine all of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this map's going to be playable anymore. I can't. I'm not starting over. We're going to have to make this work. But this has changed substantially because we have the overhang. Because now look at this mess. Look at this mess. At least this still works. That would be actually a huge shame if that didn't work. But let's see. Yeah, so those of you who are watching this for the first time, welcome to the chaos. This is an update 7 problem that happened as a result of them changing natural overhangs into just regular terrain blocks. So now I've got to check and see before I let it run too much. But anyway, the donut is doing fine. You know why it's doing fine? Because underneath at the very bottom of this is a water source that is now completely filled in on top with normal dirt because the natural overhangs have gone away. Oh boy. Oh boy, I love experimental mode updates. But another thing that's happened as a result of this is, again, these were all natural overhangs before. Now, this is completely covered up and we have those things way back there. But the one I'm really worried about... Okay, this still allows water through. That's fine. Okay, this over here I thought for sure had some natural overhangs, but it does not. There's other bits of the map we haven't gotten to that are now, as a result of the change they made with the natural overhangs, broken completely. There's one part of this that had a very nice natural overhang thing put in. I think it might have been like right here. Where now it is just completely covered with regular terrain. Although, it does seem like you can get down into here. Okay, alright, I think they can still actually go down there, but this was, again, this was all natural overhangs before. There's a little bit of a similar, yeah, similar kind of thing going on there. Yes, very good start to a stream. So, what has happened here is this has become completely broken. What about Gary? Gary's fine. Gary's okay. He's still chilling. He's doing all right. But I don't think there's anything else that we can really change or fix here. I do want to check, see. Yeah, see, this is completely buried now. And wait, no, it's not. It's actually, so that's okay. This is the problem though, because we built all of this on top of what was formerly natural overhangs. Boy, this has actually made me mad. How do we go about fixing this? Because I need this to go all the way out here, and I don't know that I can actually get anybody in there. If I research, thankfully I have the science. If I can research tunnels, I think I can just have this just excavated like this, and they'll replace it with platforms, which should be okay. Yeah, we'll We'll just have to do it this way, folks. That is unfortunately going to be kind of a pain, but they got to do what they got to do. I guess that's just going to be what it is. So, yeah, this is going to look real ugly for a little bit. Do I have extract? I do. Do I have dynamite? I do not. Do I have planks? I do. Do I have... I don't even have... Have I built an explosives factory? Because I think we were going to, but I guess I could just look at this. Yeah, that's going to be priority number 1. This is going to be an enormous pain in the butt. But what we can do, before we go any further, force that closed so we don't flood everything, and then find a place to put the explosives factory. I hadn't fully decided what I was going to do with this yet. And I was kind of hopeful that it would not be stupid. But you know how it goes. Best laid plans go to waste and all that. So, just pop that in that way. And then I guess... because we're going to need power for this. I could just pause... Yeah, I'll just pause the dirt excavator, and then this is making 400. That's going to use 200, and then the dynamite thing uses 150, I think. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's what's happened, and now we can just kind of keep this whole thing going here, and hopefully not too many of the crops die, because now they're drying out. At any rate, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chaos of random update 7 changes. Breaking stuff because of random update 7 changes. Devilish, thanks for the 5. Appreciate you. No, I actually did think about buying a Bucky's onesie, but I do not own one. I have a little tiny Bucky's like keychain plush thing, and then I got one of the travel mugs. But no, I do not own a onesie. Tunnels, it can be fixed with tunnels. Right you are, Jason. At least it's a drought instead of a bad tide. Oh man, yeah. That would have been cataclysmic. Truly cataclysmic. What's new with update 7 changes? Well, I kind of did at the start of the stream, but I guess you weren't here. They've replaced natural overhangs with just straight up dirt blocks. So what happened there was it ended up filling in this entire thing. If you remember from very early on in the playthrough, this entire thing was natural overhangs to create a little bit of a, not like a cavern so much as just an enclosed cave kind of thing. It's not really big enough to be called a cavern, but it went here and then went over here, and it ended up just being replaced with regular dirt. So I have this set with the new tunnel thing to clear that back out so we can, you know, actually use this. But there's a couple other spots on the map that were really cool that we can no longer do anything with because they removed the natural overhangs. We're not having a hot tub live stream. But at any rate... No technical issues. I had some family stuff to do today that I ended up staying at a lot longer than I had originally planned, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing that I come home and there's 35 people in stream waiting. I'm like, well, now I feel bad. But you know how it goes. I guess now the, Wait, what do you mean it's too far from a... Oh, they haven't built this yet. Okay. What do you mean I don't have planks? I got these things. What's up with that? Better start making those planks now. Let's, I guess, pause one of the gear workshops so we don't accidentally use any of those. Okay, these are actually making things. I know we needed the industrial lumber mill so we could do some other stuff, but we might... not the industrial lumber mill, but the workshop. I'm going to pause one of these. I'm not going to pause both. I need them to build the explosives thing. Alright, here they go. Here they go with the planks. So I guess other update 7 stuff, if you haven't watched any of the videos we've done since they did that update to the update, is the platforms now, instead of being built with logs and planks, are just totally just planks. So it was 2 logs, 4 planks. Now the regular platform is 6, double platform is 8, and the triple platform is 10. So it's the same, you know, amount of materials. It's just different materials. putting a little bit more emphasis on plank production, so we might have to build another one of those industrial lumber mills. We'll see. Experimental Timberborn is really fun until random stuff gets changed and it breaks everything. In which case, that's really annoying, but it is experimental mode. Like, they put the disclaimer on the screen when you load up the game. It's like, hey, this is experimental mode. Stuff is going to change. It's going to break. That's just how it is. Like, you're welcome to test it, but like, please understand it's going to get changed. So sometimes that just happens. It's very rare, though, that it happens in the way that it happened this week, where not only does a bunch of stuff get changed to where it's broken, but it's also created issues with the map's topography that affect irrigation in very, very strange ways. There's not a water source in the donut. There's one underneath the center right here that was covered with natural overhangs, and now basically any of this like 5x5 space here, I'm pretty sure is all natural overhangs. So that is no longer accessible without us just blasting a hole a couple tiles deep. Kurt, well, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Request, put a water dump 5 tiles above Gary. Ideally with an access point that is a bit further away, maybe with some nice dirt stairs. Well, I can't build dirt stairs. The only stairs I can build are just the regular ones. I can go into dev mode and probably put the slope in. They should dump water indefinitely to show him the respect he deserves. I mean, he's already dead. So, it's already, like, it is irrigated here. It is irrigated. I guess there's just this much water left in here. I didn't think that was a, thing. Oh, you know what? I should replace these with doubles. I was going to do that anyway, and then I forgot. Can they even reach this? Yes. Okay, they can. Let's do that because we have the opportunity, and I do have the planks and the stuff for it. That is just going to make so much more sense to do that way. Come and grab the logs. Get that out of there. There. Oh, they can go to both sides. All right, that's fine. But this is going to be good because this is going to allow us to empty this entire top part into here, which is a lot lower. Not irrigated, he should be bathed. So you want to drown the tree. Oh, the Buc-ee's onesie's only $49.99. All right. I'll keep that in mind the next time I do a road trip and go buy a Buc-ee's. Oh, that's a good point. Watch me make a mistake and then put a forester near Gary and it replants the tree. We can never replant Gary. Gary is unreplantable. He's like this forever. So, the thing that Kurt is saying that we should do, just so we can pause, I'll show you this. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want, that might not be quite high enough, but you were saying you wanted a fluid dump above Gary so he would be constantly showered. Gary must be left alone. Okay. All right. Any other opinions on Gary? Inverted shower tower, yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. What you're doing now, except with those platforms, are made from dirt. Oh, okay. Okay. So you want the natural, the earthen connection. You want Gary to be able to connect with his roots. Well, we don't have terrain unlocked yet. Now we do. So if we, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's certainly overhanging terrain blocks. I think what's going to make the most sense, if we're actually going to commit to this, is to replace the levees with the terrain blocks. At least underneath what we're doing. Isn't there a law against that? Against, like, desecrating dead bodies? Yeah, I sure hope so. Trees, though. Yeah, tree law. For those of you who have ever studied law or been adjacent to it, I took business law and media law. But tree law is complicated. Okay, you want me to pull it? You want me to pull it? All right, we're gonna pull it. No, it would be a good time to insert ads. I'm not inserting ads. All right. All right, let's pardon me while we lose our audio here a little bit. I probably should why did I just stop talking? That's fine. All right. Vote in the poll. Gary's fate, irrigate or don't irrigate. And then we will decide based on your opinions. But yes, I do think at the very least, if we are going to do this kind of nonsense, we need to replace the levees with dirt. So let's check our levels here. We've got 2 down there. Oh, it's actually basically even, as it probably should be. So if we just go ahead and get rid of all this, get rid of the shrub too, we'll put it back, but now we have to fill this in. I guess that was, oh, you know what? You know what we have the opportunity to do? We have the opportunity to make this look a little bit less stupid by putting this way. Get him to come in here and build that. Bowling is fun. I've not been in a very long time. I was also not good at it. I was good at Wii bowling. I was very good at Wii bowling. No, slopes are a dev mode only thing. Yeah, you ever want to just completely obliterate your brain without, you know, ingesting substances? Go read up about tree law. Wii, W-I-I, the Nintendo console from 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Wii bowling. Wii Sports, the game that was packed with most of the Wiis that were distributed, at least in the West. I'm not really a Nintendo person, so I haven't paid attention to much of that, but I have friends who are. And I saw that the new Mario Kart World thing is supposed to be pretty cool. Wii Sports was the best. I loved Wii Sports. And of course, you know, all of our cassavas are, you know, dead now. But, oh, of course, we don't have any bad water. Oh, no. Now we have to wait. We have to wait because there's no bad water. And I can't build... Oh, see, this is what happened last time. I remember now. We were going to build the bad water discharge, but we didn't have dynamite because we didn't have bad water to make the dynamite. Yeah. All right, so, you know, carry on business as usual. We'll just have to wait. And hopefully, you know, no beavers are stuck in the nasty here. I think this is probably... Aha! It's too far from a district. Okay, well that will give them something to do here. I do remember thinking that maybe I should put in some sort of a sluice or something over here. I guess if we really want to be particular about this, we could pop this in here. Yeah, we want to retain some bad water so we can continue pumping. So I was going to put in a floodgate or something here. I think it is, you know, this is a 3. No, it's a 2. We went through this whole song and dance and I just forgot everything. But yes, just go ahead and put in regular floodgate here. That'll be the easiest way to manipulate this. All right, so 58% of you say irrigate. All right. Here's the thing about Nintendo pricing. Is that the yen is very weak right now, and they're trying to preserve their domestic market would be my best guess as to why that they've priced lower in Japan for the domestic consoles versus the international ones. Also, keep in mind, like, the Wii had, like, the computing power of a slide rule in comparison to most of the other consoles at the time. And the Switch 2 is actually a lot more advanced. Beavers are not going to go in the bad water. We're going to get this stuff taken out. I think people generally have, like, incredibly bad opinions about how Nintendo as a company operates because they just fundamentally don't understand Nintendo's position as a company in Japanese business culture, because they're like inspecting things from the perspective of someone who's not part of that, and they don't understand Nintendo as a company has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, they didn't just pop up in the 90s or the 80s or whatever. Like, they're very, very risk averse, and Japanese business as a whole generally is. So, like, you're not going to see a lot of Japanese companies making reckless decisions just because if they do, they're gone. Like, they're not going to have the stability to survive stuff like that. So, like, they're going to price stuff in a way that they think they can make money from it, and they know they have brand power and people are going to pay whatever. And they enforce copyright aggressively, which is their right and is actually required by law if you want to retain ownership of your trademarks, depending on jurisdictions. We talked about this before, a long time ago, but trademark genericization is a huge problem in at least U.S. copyright law. You have to defend your trademarks or you can lose them in court. And then if you're a business and you lose your trademarks to your intellectual property, you're toast. It's over. So yeah, it is super lame to send cease and desist things to people trying to host Smash Brothers tournaments, but they have to protect their property because that's the legal environment that we find ourselves in. At any rate, this is ready to go with our floodgate, so this will actually retain some of our bad water. I'm going to put this at about 0.75, which, you know, isn't going to last a 30-day drought, but it's better than nothing, and it's what we have right now. So that is what it is. I'm going to turn this dirt excavator back on so we don't have to run the explosives factory, because we can't run the explosives factory. What else were we doing? Oh, we're building this, which they can no longer reach because they don't have access. So let's put, come on, let's put this in here. I don't think we need to have this here, but we also don't really need to get rid of it. Yeah, oh, the FPS on the new build has been incredible. Alright, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but Nintendo is probably actually doing it the right way in terms of enforcing intellectual property, like, rights and stuff. Like, a lot of companies are really, really lax about it. But they are well within the legal rights afforded to them by the legal system and international copyright law to do what they're doing. Now, it's definitely not consumer-friendly to be doing it that way, but if you believe that your property is your property, you're going to protect yourself and your company's reputation against, you know, avoiding saying what some people do with it, because I'm sure there are children watching, but you have to be very, very, very careful about what you allow people to do with your brand image and your symbols and everything. It's like, why do you think Disney has such powerful lawyers that will just drone strike people for fun? Like, it's a family-oriented brand. They have to be very careful about protecting themselves. Can Gary have a 3x3 floating land? I mean, you know what? Now we actually can. We actually can do this. We can give Gary his own thing here, but we are going to have to rotate this, I think, so it can get built correctly. Maybe. Hello, hello, all new people in chat saying hello. Got too many people to individually read names off, but glad you're here. I don't have the resources to build 10 number crunchers yet. We do have the one, though. Yeah, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that the way that international copyright law is currently set up is good, but it's the way it's set up, and unless somebody changes something about it, then that's the framework with which we have to operate. I think there's some sort of middle ground to be met between, you know, like, hey, respect our intellectual property, and then people creating derivative works and trying to do different things that benefit that property without being, you know, incredibly toxic or extremely inappropriate and damaging to the reputation of the companies who own these things. I don't think it's appropriate to send cease and desist to somebody for, like, making fan art or something, unless it's really really inappropriate stuff, because that's actually damaging. But at the same time, you know, you have to be able to enforce your trademarks on stuff. That's just the way it goes. Because if you don't enforce the trademark, then you can't defend it, and then all of a sudden someone's going to say, "Oh, I actually own the rights to insert character here," and then what can you do about it? Do I really have a beard? Yes. Last time I applied a razor to my face was 2012. I've trimmed it, though. But that was the last time I actually cut it all off. Everything will be flooded again? Ideally, no. I don't know why this is flooding. It really shouldn't be. Okay, this stupid checkbox should never have been checked. Ever. That's what caused that to flood, and that should go down momentarily. This is still turned off because they haven't blasted yet. Oh, we're gonna have problems here. Unless the explosion occurs, you know, instantaneously and doesn't actually blow anybody up when it replaces it with a platform. But that's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, we'll pause the centrifuge for right now. Is this all still flooded down here? How? Okay, alright. Man, this update really screwed me over. How is this a problem? Oh, this is blocked off. Okay. Alright, that actually makes sense. Okay, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to close that off completely with a levee. And then that's going to... You know what? No, we're going to have to... we're going to have to take this out. That's got to go away. And then this overhang... Can I put impermeable floors on top of this? I can. Okay. That, I think, is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to pressurize this and have it go out this way and then go over here. And until that's done, it's going to be just flooded. No, the line thing, that's RCE stuff. I'm not going to tread in his territory. Alright, now this is going out here. We should see the flooding, hopefully, go away. It's still coming up here. Is there another source somewhere? No, that should... There it goes. There we go. Alright, so, you know, that's not a perfect solution to all this, but it's what I have now, so... Let's get our power shafts. Get this out of here. I don't want them to build these. Very careful not to delete the impermeable floors. Nope, not that one. There we go. Get that put back in. This one is corn, this one's algae, this one I'm going to put on eggplants. Now, has this been fully dealt with? No. So I guess we'll just keep this peeled back. Let them do what they gotta do. I'm actually kind of surprised they can reach this. So that goes all the way here. If they can actually reach at least this one, then I think we're going to be in okay shape. It might end up being a little bit of a challenge, but I think they can do it. Overwhelming victory for Gary. Yeah, Gary got his little Gary thing going on here. So since we are here, let's go ahead and replace this with dirt, because we always knew it was going to be dirt. And then I will have this be the access up top, because I want this thing here to be fine otherwise. Go ahead and get rid of that. And this is going to have that there. And we will put our irrigation thing directly above Gary. This is so weird. You guys really are very weird sometimes. And I think... I know I wanted to replace all this. I don't know how much time I've got. We'll see. Building the tunnels from above? Yeah. That's a very good question. I'm not really sure how that works. Can they actually build this? I think they should be able to. Hopefully. Come back and check on that later. Did they get this? They did. Okay, good. So this can actually go all the way through. Okay, some of this they can't actually reach, so I'm going to go ahead and just say that this all can go away. I guess I could leave those there if they can reach those, so that's the corner. But that would be enough. That would be enough for us to use. Go ahead and hit open. And I think, hopefully, should be looking pretty good. Can't really see down here too much. Now it's open. Okay, there. Where's the water? Where's the water coming out of this? Have I just completely lost my mind? No. No, the water source is completely sealed in. It's completely sealed in. Wow, this update really did completely destroy this whole playthrough, didn't it? Oh, man. That's a mess. So I guess we have the choice to either blow this up so that it can be utilized, or we just say that's that and we're never going to have water coming out of here again. Yeah, because it completely filled this in. Alright. So if that goes away, and then that goes away, yeah, so all that water comes out. So this has created an interesting problem. Because as soon as this gets contaminated, it's going to slam shut, and it might not ever open again. Unless I manually open it. Although I think that's probably what we actually had set up anyway. Maybe? Well, regardless, we've got a lot of mess to clean up here. Because now, actually, this might be better. Because I can just pop this in here. Drought approaching, mercifully. Get rid of this. I guess I can let them build the stuff here, but I can just take this whole thing out. And then this is just a platform that can get popped in that way. I obviously can't put this underneath a building, but that would prevent a little bit of flooding here. Make things just a tiny bit easier. And of course water can't go out the side, which is fine, I guess. Nothing really down there anyway. What an interesting problem this has created. But we solved it. No, the ladders is a mod. That's not part of the base game. I do not have storage for explosives. So, easy solution is just to pop this here so we have a little bit. There's just so much other stuff we've been trying to do. So that's going to go there. Oh, you know what we can do now? We can do some really, really dumb stuff. Like making spiral staircases out of dirt. Obviously that's super ugly and it would have to have stairs on it, but pretty neat. Pretty neat what the new stuff that, you know, broke everything else is actually capable of doing. All that to say, I'm going to go ahead and put some there. Then we will have to have... Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it. I didn't even think about it. This is going to have to be a corner piece. And then this is going to have to go out this way. I'm going to, you know, because we can. Because we can. I'm just going to pop that in like there. And then I can have stairs there. I know I could put ladders in. I know I could do that, but this just seems much more interesting to do this way. Gary has been enshrined in playthrough lore as the eternally standing dead tree, so we're not going to replant him. But I do need to put the... okay, the lantern can't actually be in the way. I do need to actually put the rest of this stuff back in, so we will slightly modify the Gary thing here. Earth blocks are sticky, yes. Hold on, I gotta get the thing out of there. There we go. You could. I mean, access isn't really great for all this stuff, but we could, in fact, put some benches around. But the way this is set up, it'd basically have to just be in this corner. That's basically the only place this could really go. And then that's it. You got Gary, you got the shrub, you got the lantern, you got the bench. Well, hello there, Devilish Fun, with 20 gifted memberships. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and for giving people access to early videos and all sorts of other fun stuff. Hey, Elson's got a gifted membership again. We've got Garrett, Homeserve, Tauntaun, Asaf, Beck25, Lord Zyros, Andrew Johnson, Christoph Grimberg, Matt M, Nunn, Brady, Perpetuality, Delta 008, Maximilian, Todd Sanders, James, and Anthony Nelson. Who else? Vincent. Does that say Rat Orgy 3? That's an interesting name. I think that's all. I think that's all 20. Thank you very much, Devilish. Really appreciate you. And welcome to those of you who are joining for the first time and who are coming back. You do have access to emotes if you are a beard booster. And you get videos the night before everybody else. All right, those of you asking to replant Gary, do you understand the gravity of that suggestion? There will be a lot of very angry people if Gary is replanted. Hey, Pie Guy. Yeah, as soon as I said that, then Kurt comes in with the all caps no. Kurt, did you appreciate the addition in today's video? I thought of you. Gift selection is randomized based on if you've watched a channel before and you have gift recipient stuff turned on in your channel settings. So there is some sort of a menu option somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but one of the configuration menus allows you to turn on gift receipts, and then that will allow you to be entered into the random number generation bit that does all that. Yeah, and it is randomized, so like we've had people who have watched almost every stream only get one like once. And then we've had people who basically never watch streams get it multiple times. I don't have any control over it. I wish I could just gift specific people, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. I think the dirt blocks in today's video weren't being built was due to no path on the ladder. Really? Like, I thought we took care of that. I'll take a look when I go to record Tuesday's video. But you just reminded me we need to check and see if this is going to dump off correctly, and I think it is. Because we had issues before with this getting weird with how the water was let out. So I'm going to actually put in this bit on the end. I think they can still get to it. They should be able to. Aqueducts eventually. Keep in mind, this playthrough is essentially about as far as we would normally be on an episode, maybe episode 9 or 10 of a video series. But the streams, even though they're longer, are a lot slower because we end up talking and getting distracted very, very heavily. If you ever make a higher tier of Beard Boosters, you can name it the Children of Gary. Alright. I feel like that's a little too niche at this point. But I'll file that in the suggestion box for you. For those of you who are not aware, is it named Gary because he's an oak tree? So, you know, Gary Oak. Got gifted one of the first story I watched, then I joined the channel to continue to support, and I really appreciate it. I really do. You have no idea how much it means to me to have people that support the channel like this. It's really, really, really encouraging. Give Gary a bell between the lantern and the bush. If they can reach that, then we could probably do that. Alright. Which way does this... Okay. The bell's taller than Gary is. 20 planks? How long has it taken 20 planks to do that? So this is going to start dinging every single time the workday ends and every single time it begins. If the stream is lagging for you, then it is most likely your internet. Because it says everything for me is excellent, and I'm putting out... 33,000 kilobits of bandwidth into YouTube. Well, it goes up and down a little bit, but... Alright. Oh, it didn't go off. I wonder if it has to be actually within a certain distance of the district to work. If it has to be connected to a path or something. I don't know. Gary's gonna be in command. What does that mean? Maybe it's because you're at the highest quality. Yeah, it could be. I guess it just depends on your individual connection. Paul, good to see you. Thanks for gifting 5 memberships. Who's got them? See, Viper Stan, Zyrok Vods, Madlark and Mr. O, Dark Van Light. That's a clever name. Looks like that's all of them. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. There it is. That was super loud. That was actually very loud in my ears. But I need them to... Ah! Okay. Okay. I need to get this replaced here. I knew there was something going up with that. Yeah, just pop that in. That should be fine. And then Gary will be bathed. Okay, it was built too late. That makes sense. Gaming Badger, thanks for gifting a membership to UI Devo, I guess would be how that's pronounced. Appreciate the support. So we have 1,100 bad water. We pumped a whole bunch out. That's actually actually pretty helpful, pretty useful. Well, we know we can go ahead and pause this. We have 703 extract, so I'm not going to turn any more of the bad water into that. But explosives. Explosives. We can absolutely have a whole bunch of those stored somewhere. I just don't know exactly where that should be. I guess it depends on what we want to do. Because I don't really have a plan for this. We're just kind of going based off vibes. And I know you guys want to see aqueducts. So we're going to have to go hunt for water sources that we could possibly use. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Do you think adjustable dynamite would be helpful? Adjustable dynamite how? We already have, you know, single, double, triple. I don't know what other kind of adjustments that you would be able to make would be. Well, there was a mod a long time ago before we had our single, double, triple dynamite that would just it'd do kind of the same thing, but it would just automatically detonate dynamite down to a certain height, but it would do it one at a time. You know, sometimes the delays work out pretty conveniently. Yeah. No, we've not accidentally flooded any place with poop water. We have done no such thing. The game, however, if you remember before, we had this whole thing set up as natural overhang canals, but since they changed it, the natural overhangs turned into just regular dirt blocks, so this was completely blocked off. And we were getting weird flooding, and I couldn't figure out what was happening until I peeled the layers back, and all of a sudden everything's blocked off. So we used the brand new tunnel mechanic to blast those out from underneath buildings, which is incredibly useful. I'm so glad that worked. And now it's more or less as normal as it has been. And then, ding ding, we've built Gary a little a bench, and he's got a shrub, he's got a lantern, he's got a bell. It always bothered me when you click on the bell, it's a higher pitch than when the bell actually goes off. That's not how bells work. It's one pitch. But the fluid dump, yeah, see? It's like a slightly sharper than a minor third interval. But yeah, now, hold on. Which building is flooding? I gotta pause it exactly right. Is that the bench? Yeah. So when Gary is being irrigated, remember, you voted for this. When Gary is being irrigated, then it floods the bench. You know what? That actually does make sense, Devilish. It says, it's because the cursor has a different density than the pendulum inside. The clapper, I think, is the technical term for that. This looks so weird. It is very funny, though, all these beavers walking up the stairs to offer their sacrifice for Gary. You guys are weird, man. This is entirely you. This is entirely you. But at any rate, I did say we're going to go hunting for bad water sources. That's not bad water, regular. This is a regular water source, and we kind of, you know, just directed it this way. Okay, this is really annoying, this flooded building thing. So the Gary bench is going to be relocated, and it's going to go here. It's going to go here. So I don't have to listen to that, or listen with my eyes, see this go back and forth. Needs water underneath it. It has water underneath it. This whole thing is water underneath it. But if it's aqueducts you want, it is aqueducts you shall get. We don't have a ton of materials to do anything crazily huge yet. But this one source here, depending on where we want all of our water to go, we could either have this go into the donut area, just straight across, or we could start building a larger reservoir somewhere else. But that is one of the things that we could do. If you go down a little bit, it'll show you, yes, there's these here. I don't know which ones, and these are also buried. So they might not actually go off anymore. Let me see if I can peel back one at a time. Okay, so this one is actually... Okay, that can actually come up this way. This is... a -4? Really? What's this? Okay, that's a positive source. Okay, take that out of dev mode. So this one's actually a positive source right here. This other one is a drain of -4, which is tremendous. Is that Dimitri? Is that how that's pronounced? Thank you very much for joining the boosters. Appreciate it. A monk district for Gary. See, I need you guys to understand. I'm not the one coming up with this stuff. You guys are the ones doing this. As you know, there's a tape measure when building. If you're talking about, like that text that comes up, I never would have thought to call it a tape measure, but I guess that is a factual statement. That's very helpful. Instead of, having to look to count, you can just see. You see that in the middle of the screen. That's pretty cool. Drew the raised reservoir on the cross so Gary can live beside a canal. Oh, you guys. So, alright. I do not have... Oh, that's the wrong one anyway. I do not have big signs. I don't know that it works or not. I have not tried. Thanks very much, Dimitri. Appreciate it. We have a good time in the live streams. They're a little weird sometimes. Just a little bit, but I do very much enjoy interacting with you guys, and that's why we do the streams. So let me get my head back on straight here. Raised reservoir on the cross so Gary can live beside a canal. Well, I mean, this is already a reservoir here. And it's a lot better when you're not zoomed in on the bell. Scotty Kilmer. Yeah, there you go. This is just so funny, seeing like all this water just poured onto a dead tree and then it just goes back in here. Any standalone mods that are just stuff from the water beavers? I saw somebody say something about the jail. Water beavers, I don't know if it works with update 7 yet, but there is a different type of like storage building, a couple of those that you can get separately. There's the more crops, which is a separate mod. I think there's some other kind of platforms. I'd have to look at it. It's been a very long time. But a lot of the modular stuff that got put into water beavers does have kind of its own mod thing. I'm not sure what the compatibility is though. Okay, what are we doing for Gary? I have no idea. Okay, so the good water that comes out of this sluice is what would go up into a reservoir up on top of this cross piece here. So for that to happen, for us to build on top of this, we need to get rid of these blockages, and we need to replace them with normal levees or something like that, which I guess we can go ahead and do. Since this is a very long drought here. Water Beaver playthrough is pure chaos. It's fun, but it's definitely chaos. I have not had a chance to test Satisfactory 1.1, unfortunately. I wanted to do one last week. This always happens. Every time I try to do a stream in the middle of the week, I just never have time. And it's incredibly frustrating. But I am hoping this next week I can do a couple during the week. It just comes down to availability, because I've got a bunch of other stuff I've got to do, and I've got family obligations that I'm not going to, completely put aside to go play video games on the internet, even though it is fun. And this is technically my job. But at some point within the next couple of months, I do want to do a lot more streaming. Is the cross the right dimension for the final monument? It will support 7x7, so yeah, actually. Oh yeah, we've had some pretty bad weather past several weeks. We had, I think the tornado sirens went off like 4 or 5 times over the past couple of weeks, not at the same time. I guess I can just leave this slope here. That's not really hurting anything. But the slopes are not waterproof, which is why I took them out on this end here, because this is where all the bad water goes. What does the family think of your job as the beaver master? Well, they like it. They do think it's really funny how much you guys love all the beavers and don't want to see any other games. Generally speaking, there are some of you that very much want to see some other stuff. But every time I'd like, all right, it's time to go play beavers, they're like, oh, they only like the beavers. No, they'll watch streams sometime. Okay, a district that just tends to Gary. We'll see. We'll see. 5 beaver minimum district that just okay. So now we're all asking for the Gary district. They're not allowed food. They just get replaced when they give their all to Gary. Okay, that's a cult. That's a cult. This is what you've described there. I will not be sending beavers to the sacrificial starvation area for Gary. That's incredibly not happening. Yes, I do want to get back into Oxygen Not Included, but I want to make sure I actually understand the game first. Because it is not very fun trying to learn the game on the stream. Well, people are like, do this, do this, do this, do this. They're like, no, this is just, that's a stressful experience. Yeah, I'm not interested in doing or endorsing war crimes, personally. You do what you want in your own time, but no. But I do like the idea of putting in a little reservoir on top of here. We just have to be careful how we're going to build this. Like I said, this is the clean water comes through here. So if we wanted to, we could just remove the impermeable floors here and it would just fill up from the bottom. And since we have the ability to put terrain blocks out like this now, then I think that is a very easy thing to do. So I just did 3x3 here, 3x3 here, here, and here. That's going to give us a 7x7, which, don't forget, we can cap it off with an earth repopulator at the very top if we felt like it. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Depending on the size of the reservoir, set it for the monument as well. Precisely. So if I just put in ladder here, they can get started on that. And, you know, it doesn't just have to be 7x7. We can expand out a little bit. But if we keep it roughly symmetrical, then we can always just put something up at the top. And that'll be totally fine. So long as the bad water actually, you know, goes where bad water is supposed to go, then we'll be okay. Video game physics, yep. You got that right. So dirt-wise, we definitely could stand to have some dirt storage over here, so we can pop that in. Putting a single plant next to Gary from the farmhouse would be hilarious. Okay, so this tile in the corner never floods. So if... Oh, I forgot how loud that was. At the risk of already knowing what you're going to tell me, which plant do you want there? Yeah, the whole that airlock in Oxygen Not Included just completely broke my brain. That was insane. Oh, I knew you were gonna say eggplant. I knew it. I knew it. All right. I'm gonna run a poll. Remember, I can only do 4 options for polls. So, let's see. All right, your options are going to be kohlrabi, cassava, corn, or eggplant. Vote now on your phones. Unpopulated district named Gary. Yeah, it can be just like Indiana. Okay, I think people might actually live there. Only populated by trees. So, if we're going 7 by 7, then I will have to remove that impermeable floor, and we'll put that one here as well. Same thing here. Although, since this is going to be a reservoir on top, we have 7 days. I'm going to go ahead and enclose this like that. And this is going to get complicated because this is how we get down here. I gotta wait for them all to be off of this before I delete this. And that's going to get put in. I probably should have that prioritized also. Oh, I'm terrible at pixel art. How did I know eggplant was going to get 48% of the vote? No, now it's down to 47. Okay. If the corner tile never floods, why was there a problem with the bench? You know, that's a very good question. Why'd you put in the dirt block that way? Very good question. I don't have an answer for that. Alright. I'll leave that poll open for a little bit, but eggplant has 47% of the vote, so, you know. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Give the internet an option, they're going to pick eggplant. At any rate. I'm not going to be able to get rid of this. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it because it has this coming off the side. But soon, TM, we will have another level of this. It's been eggplants the whole time. What do you mean it's been eggplants the whole time? Sell off the top of the drain so the reservoir could be as large as the pool. Okay, well these drains here are for the bad water. That's why these are here. But we also, I think, are going to need to put in... Yeah, we're going to need to put in some more ladders. Get those hooked up to here. Alright, well at any rate, it seems eggplant has won. With a shocking 45%. Medical beds next to Gary. So those would probably flood too. I don't know, we might actually have to expand this just a tiny bit so we can have stuff that isn't going to just completely be turbo flooded all the time. Wait, no, putting that there would just make it worse. If I had stuff on the... Okay, no, you know what? That's way too much energy and time being put into this. Oh, no, this is already... Oh, okay, I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. You want an overhang so only bad water gets in. I was supposed to actually do that, and then I didn't. Yeah, that's as high as that's ever going to be anyway. Water's never going to get higher than that. So, what we're going to have to do to get that built is just pop in a bridge here and a bridge here, and then they'll take care of that. But this is supposed to fill up with water, and we have 4.5 days before it's going to start doing that. So we just have to decide how high we want this to be. Can you go into dev mode and make the bell 10 times louder? I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. There are not any controls for bell volume. But I can do a whole bunch of other stuff. Wait a second. How long has this been a thing? Water wheels decrease max speed, increase max speed. I feel like that's new. Very interesting. Toggle forced wind. Wow, okay. Dev mode's powerful. I always push Z wrong. What are we waiting on here? Too far from it. What? Oh, they haven't built the ladders yet. Okay, that explains it. That explains it. But I need to decide how high this is going to be. How much water it is going to store. The last update, or one of the last updates that decreased the bell volume, as you get far away from it. Yeah, I think that was the one that came on... What day did that drop? Was that Thursday morning? It must have been Thursday morning. I do remember them saying something about that. But at any rate, I'm going to have to put in a sluice gate somewhere, and I think it probably should just be right at the bottom, to be perfectly honest with you. Probably right where they're coming in, so we need to build the rest of it first. No, there are no zip lines in the Iron Teeth. We have tubeways only. And we do have a decent number of them. Like, this is still a pretty small colony we have right here. Yeah, but we do have tubeways going places. I want to build more, but you've distracted me. You distracted me with this. So you want it... I saw somebody say they want it too high, like 2 blocks high, 2 more blocks high. Because this is already technically 2 blocks high. So I could pretty easily just keep this going out like one more, like this. See if this makes sense here. If I just go like that. Kind of like what we did before. And then from there, make it go to build height. Well, this is the build height for dirt, so... I guess we probably could do that if you wanted. I see you. Earth repopulator should be built on a pyramid with Gary inside the pyramid. Okay, you guys are asking for too much. Do you think Iron Teeth should have differently colored levees? Didn't they used to? Like, not just the buildings, but like, wasn't all the wood like a different color before? We're talking a long time ago for this. Like, years. I don't know, I kind of can't keep it straight with these things. But we do need to get these things connected here. Come on. I want to say, yeah, it was like a little bit more gray. That does sound about right. Joining rather late, and sorry I got asked what the heck is going on at the Gary Island. Yeah, it's the normal suspects being weird is basically what that is. Hey, hey. Okay, so, again, keep in mind that the build limit for dirt is this. This is as high as we can go with the dirt. We can put wood above that, but I think for what we're trying to do, this is probably fine. Can beavers auto-tunnel from a tubeway then replace the platform with the tubeway? That's a very good question. I don't know that that's possible. Like, I know they can build from tubeways, but for them to build much further than just, you know, the same thing they can actually reach from inside the tubeway, they have to have an exit, which the tiny tubeway mod allows us to do that. But it's my understanding with the tunnels that as a hole is blasted out, it will put the platform there, and then you can remove the platform. And then if the platform is removed, then you would be able to build a tubeway inside of that. But I don't think that whole process can be automated. Why is there a build limit for dirt? I don't know. They wanted to have a build limit for dirt. It's the best explanation I can think of. There are mods that do decoration extensions. I don't have any installed. But there are a few that will let you change to a limited degree, like the color and texture of things. I want to say Dam Decoration has a couple different textures of metal and wood you can put in. I don't know if it lets you change the color of the wood. But, I don't know. Now, when we go to put in tube... Remember... Oh, that's a new sound for the tubeways. Let's click on a station. Oh, okay. That's not that exciting. In vanilla game, you have to have the solid tubeways for the stuff that goes under buildings or underground or whatever. The regular tubeways cannot support anything on top of them. But you can, on top of a regular tubeway, put a platform. So, if you want to build underground when you have a tunnel that already, you know, has the platform in it, then I'm almost certain you could just put regular tubeways through that. But if you want to do anything else, or go vertical or whatever, then it does have to be the solid tubeways. Yes, beaver subways are absolutely on the list for the next thing I do that allows me to do beaver subways. Do we have a detailer on the build? No. We have not built any of those, and I still have not put the files in the folder that allow you to put images for the detailer, because I keep forgetting. You want Gary as a decal on the detailer. Well, it's not going to happen in today's stream because I can't do it while I'm playing the game. But remind me to do that, and I will. Check on the tunnel that you blasted out for the water source. No, it's fine. It's normal. There's water flowing through it. We're good. And that is just working splendidly well. Okay, so I think, remember what I said about trying to do aqueducts? We need to start working on that, or I'm never going to do it. So, yeah, there's water in here. Let's peel this back. This is going... Okay, so all this water is going straight into this drain. That's why we never knew that this was a source. But this is a source that we can come over here and we can exploit. I'm going to mark it with a platform. I know they can't reach this, but I'm putting that there so I know that I have something underneath. We need to decide where we're going to dump all this water. Because I have water coming out of here, we got water coming out of here. The donut I don't think is really big enough to be our main reservoir unless we do a lot of blasting. Oh no. Oh no, beaver milk. Dangerous, dangerous things. I need to get this. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting water, and then of course it's coming out here. But the goal is for this to be full, which we haven't sealed this off because we're actually, you know, we're actually building it. I will go ahead and just extend this bit up because we can. Please, nobody get stuck up here. I'm asking nicely. But we will get this popped in best we can. Oh, there's not actually a way for them to reach over here. Let's fix that. Okay, that bit's in, so this can now get removed. And that's in, so that can now get removed. And we can actually put the rest of the dirt in on the sides here. Make it a little bit easier for us to, you know, get literally anything done. That's not supposed to go there. Get literally any of this put in. I always forget that you can drag across gaps, but I'm still, like, afraid to do that. I don't trust the game. One of the point of the construction, what's the end goal? You guys asked me to do it. We're trying to build a little elevated water reservoir here. So what I'm going to end up doing with this is once they've actually... No, that was a weird sound. Once they've actually finished building this as tall as the dirt will allow them to go, which I guess I could have just placed this to begin with because that's how that goes. Then I'm going to have to take the beavers out of here, deconstruct all this, and then I will put a sluice gate right here, and then we're going to have to make sure it has an unobstructed all the way down to the ground, and then, you know, because when you put these things in here, you get your little slider that decides height, and then we can just have this shut off when it reaches the full height of the donut, which would be actually right about here. Let's just call it 4.5. It would shut off there, because that is where all of the... wait a second. No. No, it needs to go to 3.5. Yeah, because we have this... Yeah, so basically where it already is. And it would be at this exact height, so... Yeah, just remind me, for this spot, this would be 3.5. For this spot, it's going to be 2.5. 2.5 when it goes in place of this one platform here. That's what we have to remember when we are finished with this. Yeah, it is very funny to move the camera around while those sounds are happening, because then it ends up just, the game's like, what do we do? So you will end up with this waterfall kind of coming out like this. I guess I could also do it on this side, but honestly, the one is probably okay. Unless you guys really want to see it over here. And I can just blast it out with tunnels again. But we've got 1.1k bad water. I guess I could keep pumping, but we're probably alright. We still haven't found if we're getting a bad tide or a drought. I guess that's going to be important information before we decide if we're going to build a an aqueduct or not. Because if this is going to be bad water, then we don't want to do anything like that. Why do I have a flood watch issued? It's not raining. Okay, well. That's weird. No, we're fine. We're okay. Water storage is... Oh, okay. It is 1,500 down from full, but it's not bad. I was going to put more TNT storage in. I completely forgot. Because I was trying to figure out where I was going to put it, and I couldn't figure out where I wanted it to put it. But I guess I'll just put it here. It's not that far off from everything else. Let's go ahead and get that prioritized. Alright, they've finished. They have access to that. I can go ahead and unpause this terrain block. I can do that one. That should not be facing that way. It doesn't really matter. But again, that is the top for our terrain height. Ah, okay. I thought we had... Yeah, we have medical beds. Somewhere. Oh, they're under well-being. Okay, we got 3 of them. I guess... people always, like, freak out about medical beds. Like, it really doesn't matter. They don't heal that much faster with those things. If it makes you feel better, I guess I can put a couple more in. I don't really have a lot of great spots here to do that anyway. That works right there, I suppose. Alright, so there's 3 more of those. Oh, we're not going there. I can promise you we're not going there. First bad tide. I am afraid. I am afraid of what's going to happen when this bad tide comes in. I genuinely do not know what's going to happen here. We should check, because I know we put this sluice back in. It's a different one. It is set to close above contamination, so this will shut. This one sluice will shut, and it does have literally just this one single tile of space. This is a blockage, and then directly above it, it has terrain. So this will basically immediately shut. As for the rest of this, I don't really know what to tell you. This is not... It's not draining enough. So if I lower that down a tiny bit, it's probably still not going to make a difference. So I'll just open it completely. And that should... Oh, no, you know what happened? Is this area over here, I'm pretty sure, because of the whole overhang thing, ended up reconfigured in a way that would cause floods. So this floodgate actually probably doesn't matter. And then it's just this guy. Yeah, if I lower this to 0.8, it probably should help a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Blaine. Sorry I missed you coming in a couple minutes ago. There's a lot of you guys in the stream, so please don't feel bad if I don't like read out your name when you join. There's so much going on, but I am very glad you're here. The tunnels blow up beavers? No, not to my knowledge. I don't think they blew up beavers. So in terms of bad tide stuff happening, the danger is going to lie in these sluices here, which we are pretty sure are still set up correctly. This overflows just fine. We got 4 off the side. That shouldn't be an issue. We've got this water going out this way. I don't remember this being open. But I guess there's no reason for it to be open when it was previously closed, so I guess I just didn't recall that. Oh, also, I bet you a lot of that water is getting dumped on top of Gary, by the way. Those of you who are concerned about us, you know, not having water. So, again, I do need to double check these. Close above, close below. Yeah, so this on the top here is pressurized. Or is it not? Oh, hold on. Hold on, we might have made an app. Oh, okay, no, good. Good. I was about to say, please tell me there's impermeable floor on top of this. But this entire thing is completely pressurized, so there's no chance bad water gets out. It's just going to go straight through the little diversion thing. And despite there looking like there's a hole here, this is just a ladder. This is the sluice. This is the impermeable floor. And then it goes underneath all this into the drain. And it should not have any effect on the rest of this, which I'm sure means something bad is going to happen. But, you know, that's just how it goes. You think Mechanistry should just do shadow updates that do nothing other than reset all sluices in everyone's game? That's evil. That's actually evil. Oh, no. Okay, well, this is poison now, which we already knew was going to happen. This is draining into the -4, which is good. And all of this is looking really good. Absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And we only have 17 days, so check the floodgates near the pond with the little channel you just pointed out. You talking about here? I guess, I mean, I could close these, but that's probably not going to do anything. We need to do something about this, because this is not really an ideal reservoir situation. So I kind of think we should focus on expanding the donut a little bit. Now that we have explosives, we don't have a ton of them, but You know, just doing some blasting width-wise so it has a little bit more capacity probably would be smart. How the water gets into the reservoir from the diversion. Which diversion? Are you talking about over here? It's also dark, so you probably can't see. Because this, we've already solved this. This is fine. Okay, you see these? It's open underneath. Because these were overhangs, but this is completely open underneath. Like, you can see the legs of this platform floodgate thing. That's totally fine. It works. This is always supposed to be closed off. And that's okay. I know this just looks weird because it's grass instead of the natural overhangs, but it's totally okay. Moving the whole production outside the donut and then just using the inside for additional water storage might be easier than blasting. Well, when have we ever wanted to do something just because it's easier? Okay, well, the answer to that is many times. But we have the dynamite. We have some amount of extract. And it is a bad tide, so this is just going to continue going. I feel like blasting is probably an easier way to go anyhow. So let's, I always want to click over here. Let's put another explosives factory in. I know it's not really going to be enough power to run all of this, but we do have the option of building additional engines. We have space over here. I know this is not really beautiful or correct architecture, but again, when has that ever stopped us before? Yeah, it's going to have to go. Thank you, autosave. Going to have to go over there. I always want to click in the wrong spot. Now, they'll go ahead and they'll get that done. While we're over here, I guess we can go ahead and just put in another storage for dynamite. Another couple storages for dynamite. Why not? Let's make it nice and easy. Is that the engine making that sound? No. Is that the dynamite thing? That's absolutely what that sound is. That's incredibly annoying, and I don't want to hear that anymore. But that should allow us to have pretty good access to all this stuff. I'll let them build more, and then, yes, we can get them to blast. I'm not going to say we have to sit here for a billion years and just only focusing on blasting, but even just a single set of triple dynamite would do wonders for capacity over here. Watching for a long time, forgot to subscribe. Done now. Thanks very much for supporting. I appreciate you. Yeah, the castle map is fun. If you're talking about Series 15, I think it was Series 15, like the multiple tiered one that we did with the Iron Teeth, that was a lot of fun. I actually don't know if I have a printer that works right now. Gary has a cousin at the Badwater spot. You talking about over here? I say going to the wrong side of the map. Oh, yeah, yep. This is another dead oak tree. You are correct. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start expanding this. I think that's going to be the best way to go about doing this. If we want this to be the same height, same depth, whatever, then I think what's going to make sense, remember that this is from this elevation here 4 deep. So for the sake of, you know, stuff making sense, let's go ahead and unlock our dynamites. And then I'm going to have all of this just be regular single dynamites. And then, of course, that these things need to be doubles. And then these would need to be triples, but we haven't gotten there yet. And then all of this is going to be doubles. We'll just come around here as well. That needs to be singles. And then when all of this gets to the same height, then we can go back again with more doubles. And then all this whole side will match. I just want to have more capacity that way. Like, oh, why don't you go lower than that? Well, this right here only has a depth of 6, and that is how tall this currently is. And that is the same height as over here. Gonna need ladders for the tall pillars. Yes, we are. I have to figure out how I'm getting the beavers over here is the problem. This is not really going to be a quick or easy thing for us to do. It's going to actually kind of be annoying, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. I can't build anything on top of the suspension bridges. I'm going to have to take select, actually no, that one's fine. Select corner pieces out and then put in ladders. Because we do have access from this thing here. Just to get that in place. But the frog statue is blocking our progress over here. So that is, that's going to be a thing. We will need to relocate the frog statue. I know that's like an unthinkable sin, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just moving it a tiny bit. So this will get us pretty much all the way through all of this that we actually have to worry about. We'll have to put a couple more things in before we blast. But this is exactly the kind of stuff that we should be doing during live streams, because it always ends up being a thing of, okay, now what do we do? Versus, you know, coming in here for videos, and I just have to do a time lapse for an hour and a half while I sit here and make sure nothing explodes. See ya, Devilish. I say 2 minutes later. There's not enough room at Gary for a frog statue currently. The problem with bridging from the inside levees is that we'd have to build a lot of bridges to get over here. But I think I see what you're getting at, to get across once, which we could do here if we had a way to get down. Yeah. So we can do that. We absolutely can do that. That'll give them a little bit easier access to some dynamite storage here, just to get that in place. But we're going to have to be careful, remember, about how we have all this stuff connected. Just let them do that. 10.3 days. I want this to be done so I can have an aqueduct come up here. But we don't have to wait to be able to start building. We just have to be able to know exactly how this is going to look. Why are you just making stuff up in the chat? Also incorrect. Now, drink water, friends. It's good for you. This floodgate cannot be removed right now because it is keeping some of the nasty away. It is slightly higher than the bottom of the floodgate, so I'm not going to get rid of that. But when we start making our aqueduct, it is going to be going off this direction. So, wouldn't it be more surprising if I wasn't making stuff up in the chat? Okay, that's correct. They are writing fanfic. Like every single week when we have these streams, they're writing fan fiction about me in the chat. It's honestly a little bit endearing, but still kind of concerning. Because you never know what they're going to type. Like, can they build tunnels from a tubeway? You know, we talked about this, but I don't think we ever actually established if it was possible. I'm reasonably sure they can. Is there anywhere on the network I could actually do that? Have it not be a huge pain in the butt. It's not really... The two-way network isn't really ever touching a place where tunnels are not a thing. We might have to come back to that at some point. Right now, I would like to make actual progress in this so people don't get mad that we don't play the game. But how high does this have to be to clear this? If we build kind of backwards, take a look at our thing here. That has to come from this way, which means... So this, right about this tile here, is going to be where the thing will dump. So if I just mark this with a triple platform that will not be built, if we want it to be about that high, maybe you could go a little bit lower, but if this is going to be the height of the platform the water comes off of, and if we build the aqueduct with dirt, then that would be the height the water would come down from, and then I can actually... Can I just attach this to the side of this? No. Okay. So what I will do instead is I will make that a double. Again, pause this so they can't build it. So pretend this is the end of the aqueduct, and then we just have to make it come across this way. Obviously, we have to have supports, but we have to decide if we want to have only dirt supports, which I'm going to be completely honest with you is going to take a really, really, really long time and be very expensive to build because that's a lot of dirt. Or if we want to have these overhangs go underneath. Remember, this only has to be 3 wide, so including the walls. So we don't need to go super crazy with the 5x5 platforms and all that stuff. Oh God, not isekai. Oh please, the world has evolved beyond the need for isekai fiction in anime. It's so overdone. Yes, please hit me with a K-truck and send me to 1500s magic land. No. Can the beavers build under the tubeway from inside? Yes. I'm pretty sure. When the spot being built is not at the end of the tubeway. They can build, I'm pretty sure, from any point in the tubeway, if it is adjacent to the tubeway. Because that's what I did in the update. Oh, actually, you know, I didn't make the video on that because the game kept crashing. But I recorded like 45 minutes of video the other day in the Emberpelts playthrough, where I was attempting to do just that. And it would let them do it, but then the crash that happened, it's fixed now. The crash that had happened there was anytime a bot interacted with a building site, the game would crash. Because the people in the Timberborn Discord and the Emberpelts thread are really smart. This is amazing as well. Bobbing About was sleeping. The creator of the mod was sleeping. And I actually don't know if any of them might be in chat right now, but somebody figured out, forgive me because I do not remember what the name was, figured out that Mechanistry modified a file relating to bots, like creating a cloud of dust when they're building something. And previously there had been a separate dust cloud file or line of code for Folktales bots and Iron Teeth bots. They removed the separate ones and they combined them into the same file. But because the Emberpelts mod was built off of Folktales for the bots, they had it was trying to call an animation that no longer existed, and it just crashed. Is the best understanding I can come up with from that. I guess if you want to scroll back in the Emberpelts thread on the Timberborn Discord, then you can go read it for yourself. But they figured out that's what the problem was, and then, you know, Bobbing About woke up, went to their actual job, and then they said, okay, I have time to fix it, test it, and I tested it, and it worked perfectly fine. So, all that long story short to say, yes, we have tried that, and it does seem to work. Could you tunnel through the donut? We could, but then it would be leaking water. There will be no way to stop the water from coming out there without a separate tile that serves as a dam and a tunnel entrance, which Emberpelts mod does have a tubeway piece that is also a dam. That is a special piece that's for that, but we don't have access to that here. Yes. Bobbing about is good people. Let's actually, do this. So I'm not going to be just, completely losing my mind all the time. The reason I put this dynamite here is so that we could get the beavers up and around this way so they could build the rest of this. And make it a little bit easier to get everything else done. Alright, that's ready to go. There we go. I'm not going to detonate all this quite yet, because this is still going to be kind of easy to reach. An airlock in Timberborn. See, you'd have to have a special block for that, because of the way the water physics works. It fills up any available volume. It doesn't look for an entire block worth of space. But we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set off these bits of dynamite here. Which is going to allow us to remove these ladder pieces, which is going to allow us to put the dynamite in. Go ahead and set this off. I need a couple more pieces here. And then we can set a bunch of this off. And remember, they're going to have to, catch up with the explosives. So that's going to be... Why is this not... Okay, I don't care. Wait, wait, this isn't connected to anything? I thought for sure... Oh, okay. That explains that. I thought that was already connected. Boy, this is ugly. Timberborn Beaver Space Mod. How would that even work? Like, I know we have, we got the Earth Repopulator that launches them on gliders, so Beaver space travel probably isn't that far-fetched. I mean, you think about the first flight of the Wright Flyer powered aircraft in 1903, and then the first rocket launch with a satellite on it was what, in the 50s? So I want to say it was in the 50s. So that's only about, well, say for sake of argument, 50 years worth of technological progress and all that. The Beavers, I guess, maybe could kind of reasonably get to a similar kind of thing. But that honestly seems like something the Water Beavers would do. More so than the vanilla game. Ladder in the impermeable floor works as a water lock. Yeah, I can't believe they haven't patched that. That seems like an incredibly blatant abuse of the game engine to make that work. But ladders is also a mod, so I guess that's not really their responsibility to deal with anyway. Regardless, set this off. Then they'll put that bit in, and then we can detonate this whole mess here. Metal for the heat shield, yeah. Cultivation was halted. No, it wasn't. These guys are fine. Wonder what would happen. Likely would crash the game, so I wouldn't try this. Well, maybe we will. We'll see. If you put multiple dirt overhangs and after it's built, blow up the base and see if the dirt flows. No, it just disappears. The patch notes actually had a good way of describing this. I guess I can kind of just demonstrate it to you. They can't reach this, so if you do a line here, 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 just super far, way up here, and then you have, say, a building on top of this. The only reason this is able to stay up is because this piece of dirt exists. If you get rid of it, it's not going to let me. If you get rid of it with the demolish a building thing, then all of that whole thing turns red. Anything that is supporting anything, or anything that has anything dependent on it, which I guess would be the same thing, automatically turns red. And then if you delete it, it's just gone. They did warn you that that's what happens when you do that. But actually build it so it's not built yet. I mean, it's still just going to disappear it. I'm pretty sure the materials go away too. But I digress. Let's get this set of ladders out, because we're going to have to blast it down and then build back up to this thing anyway. Yeah, just get this in place, and then we'll set this all off. Hopefully nobody dies. And This little bit can go as well. Okay, so now the rest of this has to be... did I make a mistake? Okay, it has to be triples. Okay, yeah, that's what I said it was going to be. That's what I said it was going to be. Just got to get all these beavers in here. That's triples, that's doubles, that's doubles. So instead of this one at the very end here, we'll put in a couple of ladders. Just like so, and then that will go in there. Then we'll have that go. So they're going to take a long time to do that. We only have 77 explosives. That's not going to be quick. If you make a tunnel big and delete the platform... Okay, well, we actually... I'm not sure exactly what you mean by make the tunnel big, but if you have a multiple height tunnel and you delete the platforms, then it'll totally be fine unless there is a span of unsupported dirt greater than 3 tiles in length or width or whatever. As long as that's there, then you can do it. There was also in that video I posted screenshots from one of the users in the Discord. Made like a hollow pyramid using that kind of construction, and it worked pretty well. No complaints. I need to get these terrain blocks put in place in the corners here, because I just realized that has not been finished. Then I can just completely clear this whole thing out, and we can have our little chalice, I guess, of clean, fresh water. But going back to the original topic of discussion that I was trying to actually make progress with, we need to build an aqueduct. And since it is only going to be 3 wide, we could choose to build pillars out of dirt and then put these overhangs off of it. If you really wanted to, we could do 3x3 platforms, but that would be so many pillars. I don't think that would be a smart way to do it. We could also, you know, just make regular double platforms. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But if it is going to come out at this end right here, then we need to count our spaces. And this ground is not level enough for me to really do that easily. So, let's see, that would be 3. That's 6 to here, which means if we're going to have a 6x overhang, this has to be spotted there, which I will go ahead and I'll just put regular platforms there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. They will try to build this, so we have to be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 6 there. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. Which is only a little bit off of this. So, you know, I don't hate that. I don't really hate it. I don't really love it either, but I think this is probably about as good as we're going to get. How long are you going to stream for today? I don't know. I usually try to go about 2.5 hours at a minimum. I would like to build this aqueduct at the very least. I feel like that would be a good goal for today. I don't have like unlimited time. I do have to do a video for tomorrow, and I got some other stuff I have to do today. But I will try to do at least this. Why not tunnel underground? Because, well, there's not really a very good... People ask for an aqueduct. I saw that come up a lot in chat over the past 30 minutes or so. It's something cool to look at. And I'm not saying we can't do tunnels everywhere, but kind of already got this thing going here. So, wait a second. Did I count this wrong? No. No, I didn't, because that's going to have to be... Might actually have to be one higher than that. So if I do... Talk about construction here. We've got... If that's going to be the base and we want to have dirt on top of this, then it has to have a way to go out to the side, which, given how this overhang is and how all the other overhangs interact, if we want to go 3 wide, we kind of have to just use the 3x3 platforms. But because of how this is, I'll just go ahead and unlock these. How this is set up, they're gonna like overlap kind of weird. Unless I just used 5x1s. Come in here with this. And I can go right on the end and then right there. Actually, see, this is going to be where my brain just starts shutting down. We can just do this, and it doesn't have but one leg there. I don't really hate that. Double up columns and build overhangs each way to reduce total pillars. Well, this is one pillar for six length worth of whatever you call this. And of course, on top of this, we have dirt, and then we have dirt. So that's a little beefy for my preferences, to be perfectly honest. But we also have the ability to get rid of that layer and get rid of that, and then we can just put in impermeable floors on that level. Well, also the problem with building this is this has to be high enough here to go over the donut. The maximum height of the donut is like here, which is currently 2 blocks below this. So I guess we could lower it 1, but it's not really that much of a benefit to that. The source itself is at the same level as this block. Mirror that design next to it. Talking about this one? What do you mean? What do you mean mirror the design? Like you want that gone that way? So you're saying you want to increase the distance between where the pillars go on the ground? Overhang the dirt. Yes, you can. Oh, okay. I see where you're getting at. Let's you guys understand, right? That this is me learning at the same time you are. So we can actually do that. Okay, the game's not going to let me get rid of those. So if we did it this way, we would have to have this set up like that. And then if we wanted walls, they'd have to be like that. That is the simplest way to do this. I think this is going to have to be the way we do this. Now watch them change this, and then the next time we go to stream, this is going to be completely broken, because that's absolutely something that would happen. Couldn't you make it entirely out of dirt? There would have to be way more supports. Like, you'd have to have just an absolutely incalculable quantity of dirt. It would be truly insane. But if this is what we're going to do, then I guess go ahead and just do that. Let's get our 6x1. That was the same spot, right? Okay, good. So what that is going to do is, come on, go there, go there, go there, and go there. And now we do have the ability. Actually, this doesn't even have to be the 6th one. It could be a 4. No, single wide canal. I don't need more than single wide. It's a single block of source block. Whoa, hold on. How do I turn that off? Oh, okay, that was X. Okay, yes, the strength is 1. You don't need any more than that. But anyway, that's... Oh, hold on, I gotta... How did I... Alright. Water's not being stored in this. It's a canal. It's not for storage. If the water is flowing, it comes through here, and then it goes down into the reservoir. That's it. Nothing else at play here. Can we get a dirt pipe? Oh, you want a top on it? I mean, that is a lot of dirt. It also looks kind of ridiculous. But that is technically possible. Overhang the dirt front and back. Okay, well then I'm going to have to recalculate how this is set up. Okay, well if we did that, this would go, and then, you know, you also have to be able to build this, so we have to keep that in mind. That is as far as it's going to let me go, so I would only go 2 blocks behind it, and then from the front of this, I can go 2 blocks like that. So your total length from this is actually 8. The game does not have a copy-paste button. Sometimes, it's not about doing it because you have to. It's about doing it because you can. Also, we're increasing the size of the donut. Don't forget. But spinning, like rotating this around, isn't going to reduce the amount of columns. It's just going to move them. So, to get this to work, I think the way we want it to, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including these 2. So from the edge of this, I have 5 more spots I can go. If I am doing my math correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would just put that there. So all we've done is, you can't count this as 2 extra spots, because it's, wait, no, you totally can. Guys, this is really hard, okay? I need you to understand that this is absolutely warping my tiny little brain. I can go 2 more back this way. Let's just bear with me here. Okay, that's not high enough. I'm assuming that was supposed to be there. Yeah. To double there. No, I need 1 more. 1 more. Okay. Is it going to allow me to do this? Yes. Is it going to allow me to do... I guess I have to get rid of that one too. Is it going to allow me to do this? Yes. But I think that's as far as it goes, and it only goes in the center. Alright. Now I know the center can go here, but I have to be able to go to the side as well, which it's not going to let me do. So if I just do that... Only do the center one for now. Oh, I just know this is absolutely just sending some of you currently. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Counting is hard. Alright, so there's your extra 2. This would be the start of, or the end of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. And that goes, yeah, there we go. This, I think, is the best, the absolute best we're going to be able to do. That connects there. That connects... Remember, the 3 we can't do because it needs to go to the side. Okay. Now, if this is actually in the correct spot already, this is going to be really funny. Do water blocks emit water from each exposed side? I believe yes. I think it's all sides except the bottom. Unless it's on the edge of the map, in which case the edge of the map doesn't allow that to flow off the side. It just goes up. Right, before I build up, let's check. Yeah, this one was actually in the correct place. That's funny. Right, so that is 1 block higher than that, so I can do... Oh, I already forgot where it was. I hope this was correct. No. It was not. How did I mess that up? Okay, that works. That goes that way. And now this is where this is going to get interesting. because we're going to have to, this is the water source. We're going to have it line up with that. All right, so that is 2 blocks there. All right, so that's our void space on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And that is too high, which means I can just do a single... This is a drain, I think? Yeah, that's a -3, so we're going to have to... Remember, because this is a water source that can do a bad tide, so we're going to want to take advantage of this drain, which currently we have this nice thing set up here. Oh, I'm still in dev mode. All right, get out of that. I'm going to fill this in just like so. So we have our little canal here. This will be open. This is going to end up being a triple right here. And then from that, I've got my 6x1 overhang. And then we have that going there. And what's going to happen is, as soon as this is no longer a bad tide, we're going to remove this. Get this back up here. And then I'm going to put, instead of... I guess... Yeah, I'll just take this whole bit out. We'll build this up a little bit more. This gets blasted out, and then this will get replaced with a sluice gate that'll let the bad water out to go through here. And then the clean water gets elevated to go up onto this whole thing here. Can you build 2x3 cross-section of dirt on the overhang, then tunnel out the lower middle dirt block, leave platforms in place, and waterproof under platforms? I don't see why not. I'd question the benefit of doing that, personally, but I'm not sure that it would let me build to the side of a platform. Can I come in from underneath this? See if I can get this to attach here. I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah, it doesn't want to let me attach to that, but if I get rid of that, yeah. It won't let me attach the dirt to a platform. Like, it's not letting me do that. So I would imagine if this was turned into a tunnel, it would probably just get rid of all the dirt. Yeah, it didn't want to let me go to the side of a platform. Now, the side of a levee, I think we've already done this. Why is this not... Yeah, you know, it doesn't want to let me do it. Would be entirely unrealistic, unlike the rest of the game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is kind of funny. People kind of lose their minds. Okay, this is quick. They kind of lose their minds about that's so unrealistic. It's a game with beavers that can walk on 2 legs and have technology and language. Like, you gotta suspend disbelief. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't hate this. This is actually kind of cool. I just need to get this whole thing taken care of here. So this is now clean water coming out of here. This has to go down 1 level here. This somehow still has nasty water in it. I don't know how. I wonder if that's just... is that going to actually go anywhere? Okay. If we let that down, it'll clean this up. Because this is also a drain. Oh. Yeah, but I don't want the bad water to go over here because it's going to kill the trees. So we're going to continue doing what we were already doing. That needs to be put there. And then I guess I just have to have a tower coming up the side here. And it's got to go into the aqueduct. So we will need dirt storage over here. I guess just anywhere probably is fine. And I need to lower these because it is going to flood if I don't. That's ready to explode. This water's not going anywhere anyway, so for right now this is fine to just go ahead and get rid of it. And then we've got to come in here and build what we're going to build. But I will go ahead and put a sluice here. Easiest thing to do. Set this to close below contamination of 1%. And then we'll just build right on top of it. I guess there's no reason not to make the tower out of levees and then just have the aqueduct be that, because this is already set up like this. So that would just have to be, yep, right up here with a close above contamination, which it shouldn't ever, the contamination shouldn't ever reach up this because this will automatically open anyway. Turn that off. Always turn that off. And then you just build your little thing around the back here. Super easy, super simple. Wait, that's too high. No, it's not. You know what? You know what? We have the technology. Let's make this very front wall out of dirt, and the reason why is so that I can have this dirt come off the back and then also attach to that. I think that is going to be, yeah, that's a winner right there. That's a winner. Now the question is, how long will it take them to build this? The answer is yes. It will take a very, 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 very long time. But that's okay. It's a live stream. We can amuse ourselves in other ways. Just got to get this whole thing configured. And there you go. That's going to be real simple. And then that, of course, just gets set like that. Now they just have to build it. Which will take a very, very, very long time. I think they might actually have to come in from the back entirely. Let's do... yeah, let's do that. Keep that paused and then take that out so this one can just get built. Actually, just take both of those out. They'll be able to build most of it from here. Just go all the way down. That should allow them to do just about the entire thing. All right, I hope you like this design because that's what we're building. All right. You want a single dam piece to act as a spillway, like at the very end? I don't think we're going to need to worry about it, honestly. Because when this is on, it's going to be basically full all the time. Okay, we're out of dynamite. We're out of bad water, too. Oh, because this is paused. Okay, good job, me. We're also going to have to turn the centrifuge back on. That needs to be prioritized. That's also not prioritized. Alright. So, big old construction project. I unfortunately cannot time-lapse this because you can't time-lapse live. Yeah, you know what? I should have built a tubeway. But I don't want to leave a tubeway there. That is a question. You put wheels in the aqueduct? I mean, I could. I really could. Just going to depend on how we want to run our power and our storage stuff. Okay, temporary tubeway. It's kind of expensive, actually, to be temporary. But I'll tell you what. Let's gotta be very careful about only getting rid of the path. Then what I will have to do is tiny tubeway station. No, not there. Right here. And then this just all the way down. I'm pretty sure they can build all of this from inside that tubeway. Ah, what? You Stupid idiots. Or was this my fault? How did this bad water get here? Was that because this coming in? Oh, for crying out loud, man. Come on. Come on, man. Get out of there. This is a buffoon convention is what this is. Alright. Man, now I have to deal with this. That's a pain. Alright. Easiest possible solution is to just not, but this will have to be what we end up doing. Yeah, run away. Run away. Oh, hey, this didn't open, did it? Where's the... Okay. It does have to be manually opened, and then it's going to flow a little bit of nasty water out. But it is no longer contaminated. Just, you know, kind of flooded everything with partially contaminated water. Please. Why? Why? Why is this like this? There's no bad water going to the aqueduct. It's not even done. Oh, you meant walking through this, yeah. No, that absolutely was a thing. This is why I have trust issues. When these things get changed and it completely just derails the entire thing that we were already doing here. Well, do I have... Where? Okay. Decon pod. I guess what I've got to do is just hook this up to power somewhere. Somehow. I don't really have anywhere to do that. See, that's not going to transfer power right if I do that way. But if I do this, then that will transfer power. Then we have one decontamination pod. We will unfortunately have 2 contaminated beavers. I highly doubt they'll add rain. It just seems like a way to absolutely tank the frame rate for basically no benefit. So I will put one of those there, and then I guess I can put another one. We got power down here, kind of. I don't really have a good place to put it, though. Unless I want to make a really obtuse path detour, which, you know, seems very on brand, so put that there. This is so irritating to have bad water here. Oh, man. This map is really hard, and it's only gotten worse. Alright, how many of these medical beds? I got 6. Okay, that is being used. That's fine. This needs more planks. We have those, thankfully. Alright, has any actual progress been made on this, or are they still, yeah, they're still messing around. Yeah, this isn't going to be fast. I don't know why I decided this would be a smart idea. I'm not going to set this off yet, but they are, looks like about halfway done. Do I have a mine going? No, I don't think I do. We have 420 scrap metal. We've got 500 some metal blocks. We're not going to use all those metal blocks to build 5 or 6 of these overhangs. Raised reservoir. It is currently doing nothing because I got distracted and did not plug the hole. So this is now going to have to be priority number 1. So what's going to happen here is those will get put in place. All of this will get put in place. And we're going to have them come and get their pieces here. Because I would like this to fill up. I just have to have the dirt actually here. Alright, so that is finished. That is finished. I'm not going to worry about all these pieces of stuff. So what we're going to end up doing with that is very carefully shove all of it into the hole here. I'm sure this is going to be only like the best possible common sense approach that we will ever do. Thank you, autosave, for learning that moment. So just get this down. I think what happens when you do that is it just shoves it somewhere else. So it looks like there's some there. We've got a good bit. Oh, there was a beaver there. We've got a good bit there. We've got one metal block. I'm not going to worry about that. Just goodbye. That's done. I'm not going to worry about that. So they can just grab what is here, which will be outside what they're trying to build once I place it in. So sluice gate. Oh, please tell me I'm allowed to do this. Oh, there's a path there. Okay. Get rid of the path. And then sluice gate there. Set to close above downstream depth of... What did I tell you guys? Oh, no, that can't go there. That can't go there unless this is removed. But I can put it there and then later remove the dirt that's underneath it. So I think that's going to have to be what happens for the sake of our sanity here. Yeah, because that'll be about as good as we can get it. All right, now we have to demolish all of this so they don't actually build it. Keep a close eye on what's actually getting deleted. Very, very carefully. Do not delete the impermeable floors, and then this is the only thing that has to get built. And then I'm just going to, for right now, just have it be completely closed. They'll come in, they'll build this. This is where the clean water comes up on this side. And then I'm pretty sure, of course it does it right at the end of the day, but it hasn't reached it yet, so guess what? 24-hour workday. Come over here and build the sluice gate. Water storage is, you know, lower than I'd like it to be, but we're going to be okay. We have plenty of water to pump. I mean, you can suggest whatever you want. It doesn't guarantee I'm going to do it, but feel free to suggest away. Okay, this is done, which means this is filling up. It's going to fill up pretty quick. Like within one full day, this probably will be full. So now that that is a thing, we can get rid of that platform. And then we can blast this away, and then all of a sudden this will be able to go all the way down. Meanwhile, this nonsense is still happening. I'm also going to check here. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do... I want to detonate as much of this as I can so this can keep filling up. But it seems like this is not going to end well if I do that. Future rubble moving needs using planting. Does that actually move stuff, though? I would assume it has to. Okay, I don't have any more dynamite is the problem with this. So if we simply disconnect this bit so it can't advance the explosions, and then arm all of these, and then detonate this. Yeah, it might not look like it created a lot more space, but it did. The showers actually don't work in bad water. Like, they specifically shut off in bad water. Okay, how are we, I guess they're technically building this. Are they going to be able to build... Okay, they're not going to be able to build dirt off of this until this central thing is put in, and they can't currently reach that. So I think we're going to have to put in a ladder on top of this. And then I really should have built this a little bit better, but we're going to need those pieces for them to take care of that. At least this is working. Inside the donut, place a double and single dynamite lower than triples. Well, I mean, the way that this is right now, this is totally fine. I think it really depends on the terrain, like topography, when you're putting the dynamite down, what makes the most sense to set off the most at once. Floors? I'm not sure. Okay. The impermeable floors, I didn't think actually moved anything, because they can go below the paths. I don't think they actually disrupt stuff. We do have homeless beavers. We have too many beavers. But I can put more barracks in here. I got ladder here, I got ladder here, which means I only have to have ladder here, but I will do single platforms because I know at some point we're probably going to want to have those. So that'll take care of that problem. Okay, drought started. Do I need to shut anything? I don't think I do. But we'll just check. 25 days is a long time to not have a lot of water. That is going to be a question we have to ask ourselves. But, I mean, this is a lot right here, and I know our storage is down to 4,900, but we will get that addressed momentarily. We have a couple of options. We can put in more pumps here very easily now that we have terrain that can just overhang. Super simple. Get that popped there. This did overflow, and now it is beautiful. It is completely full. And I have this closed. Yes, we do not have unwell beavers because they are contaminated. And they are, you know, swimming in the decon pods, as one does. Both of them are operating. I'm not in contact with Skystorm, so you know as much as I do. I'm sure that when he wants to make videos again, he will, or when he's able to. I don't know everything about his situation, but I do know he was taking some time off to deal with stuff. Wow, they built that quick. But we do need to put in more water pumps here. And these probably should be prioritized jobs, which we'll go ahead and do here as well. And that should solve a lot of our problems, just having that taken care of. We do have a lot of this laid out as well. We're just waiting on more explosives. But keep in mind, there's only so much bad water and it's about to go away. So what we probably need to do for the continued health of the playthrough is get rid of these deep bad water pumps and instead build a bad water discharge, which is going to require 50 dynamite, which we can make, but we don't have a lot of bad water. So what we might end up having to do is getting rid of a bunch of these dynamites so that we can get the bad water so we can keep making additional dynamites. I think that's going to make the most sense. I know it's like a whole, like, oh, we just spent all this time putting this down. Well, you know, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you got to just make it so that you can live to fight another day. So now I've got all this dynamite on the ground, and they're only going to be placing a little bit of it. It's not like making the reservoir any bigger right now is going to do anything anyway, because we're in a huge drought. They're just going to pick this up, and then they're going to come on down over here. And they're going to put it in storage, because I don't think there's any more dynamite we're actually trying to use. And then we'll let them pump the rest of this water out, so that we can continue making additional dynamite. But I am going to turn off the centrifuge, because we have 220 some of the extract. And I'm going to mute the mic so I don't sneeze. And then unmute it so I can talk again. And then we are going to have to build the bad water cap, discharge, whatever the term is. But when you do that, it shrinks the tubes here, so they're not going to be able to pump anything anyway, which is why I was just going to let them pump the rest of this out. Are they able to build the whole aqueduct? They can build from the end, which is how that was going to get constructed anyway when we put in the tubeways. They have built all the supports here. They'll have to build the second part of the supports once they get... oh, wait, you know what? You know what? That's a very good problem to bring up because of the way that we put these terrain blocks in. The terrain blocks have to be built from this end because they're all facing that way. But these can't be built without this block being there to be a support. So we are going to have to... oh, you guys are going to be so mad. We're going to have to take this down and redo it. Part of it, at least. And the reason why... I mean, they haven't started actually building this yet. But the reason why we have to do that is because I have to turn some of these arrows around, and then we have to build these platforms first. So all of this here that it's not letting me delete for some reason. Okay, there we go. See, this is fine, but this bit off this backside has to be turned 180 degrees build arrow-wise, because it has to be able to actually get built, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's the only modification I have to make to this. I guess we'll find out if I'm wrong. Remember, I am learning this at the same time you are. But everything else should be totally fine. I'm just going to have to come up with ladders right next to these supports here, so they can at least get those taken care of. Oh, come on. The dirt is going to have to be put down from above. And then this bit here, I think, can just be a staircase. And that should make it a little bit easier. Just a touch. Alright, now, over here they've pumped all of this, so those go away. This is going to go in. Could just go ahead and open this. And then we will have to have the pumps in some other location, but that's not going to be a big deal. Simple enough to get this whole thing situated that way. But since we have the opportunity, I think it would be smart to come down here and then build these walls higher. I'm not sure they can actually do all this, but we'll see what happens. I'm not worried about this being ugly. I just need it to work. It's going to take them a long time to get this popped in anyway. Wait a minute. No, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. It's going to be infinite supply. That was dumb. I'm sure somebody left a comment to that effect, but no, that's not what we need to be worrying about. I just need to be able to have the pumps in here. I need to have at least 2. Which means something else could go here. I could have put a Could have put an explosives factory there. Can the levees be built like you build the dirt? I do not know. I'm pretty sure the levees have to actually have a support underneath. The dirt doesn't because of the whole half dirt, half rock kind of nature of it. Is you can actually have the dirt and land support itself, but this is quote-unquote man-made, beaver-made material, and it's not going to tolerate that without something underneath it. Not necessarily the most realistic application of physics, but, again, we got to suspend our disbelief for the beaver game. It's just much easier to do it that way. So, again, we're making an ugly thing here. I'm not really happy with how this has been put in. But at the same time, there's really not that much else I can do. I guess this would be okay like this. Put bad water pump in, and then we have a little 2x3 space here, which probably... I mean, we got the tank there. I guess I just shut up and let him build this, huh? What are the priorities? What you're trying to build? I have not assigned priorities. I never... How the... Come on, man. How did you idiots do this? Alright. Well, I guess the moral of this story here is... never underestimate the stupidity of beavers. Alright. Get these two boys out of here. I guess I gotta let them just get this started, and then we have to put all that other stuff in. Ha! That wasn't even an intentional pun with the whole suspending disbelief thing. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Can they build this from below? I actually can't click on this thing here. Is it? Okay, they can build this dirt, and I'm assuming they will. Once that happens, then they can build the rest of this. Hopefully. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll find out. I am very interested to see what they're actually able to construct from here. Okay, because this dirt is built. If they start building this, then I'll know we're in good shape. Because then this one can be built from this side, connected to this. Yeah, it really is going to look a lot better with the dirt overhangs. I don't think we're going to need that much bad water production, but we'll see what happens. Too far from a district and cannot be reached. Be still, my beating heart. I guess what has to happen now is... well, we learned something. Is that only one of these had to be turned around. Then the rest can just be built from the other side. But, you know, that's why you do stuff. You learn. Sometimes learning is fun. Sometimes it's very not fun. But I will count this as fun learning. Come in and do that. And then that should still be easily reachable. Why is it not easily reachable? Oh. Maybe I didn't have to take those out. Well, at any rate, now is the time for us to try the tiny tubeways again. So just build that tubeway station there. And then, as long as none of the beavers get in here, it should be okay. If you build ladders 2 more up, they can get to all the sections at the same time. Well, not really, because there's nothing connected on this way. And the dirt's going to be in the way. So this is about all that we can do right now. I just need them to get this two-way station built. I think they're all putting their energy into building this mess, which completely understandable. Where's the rest of my dynamite? Is it still down here? Yes, okay. That's fine. I was getting a little bit worried there. Yeah, the reason I didn't have path is because I had the tubeway stations there. And I would like for them to use this. Let's prioritize that. Yeah, we're absolutely not understanding each other. That's fine. Sometimes I can't read. Is there a water source on the right side of the donut, right under the aqueduct? That is a... we peel this back. This is just a... I think it's a drain. Yeah. It's a drain. But it's currently filled up because this was a natural overhang before. It's a casualty of the game getting updated. Well, I can't really get more builders because I don't have any beavers to run them. So that is, that's an unfortunate thing. Okay, we have a tiny tubeway station. This is what we wanted to try long time ago. If you deleted the dirt right above the ladder stacks and then added ladders to the height of the aqueduct, they can build on all the sides. Okay, well that makes sense. But I also kind of want to see if they build out of the end of the tubeways like this. I'm pretty sure they can. Watch me be proven wrong because that's how this typically works. But I guess I've got to wait for them to finish this. It's almost done. If we prioritize explosives pickup, at least for a decent bit of this, that should help get the rest of that done. It won't be done. I think we're going to be okay. Remember, the 34 is what is in storage. All this is on the ground. Like, almost all these tiles have either extract or explosives or both. So, they should be okay. Yeah. They have been building from the tubes in the other playthrough, the other two, I guess. No, just the one. The other one that we've been doing with the tubes. But you know how it goes. Very often I will say, oh yeah, we can actually do that. And then it turns out that I've always been wrong and that's never been possible. Because I am speaking to somebody live about it. Bots are probably still pretty far off. Just because of the amount of infrastructure required to support the production. We have the materials, except the gears. To kind of, I guess, get started with those. But I don't really want to dive into that before we can actually just set it all up at once and be done with it. Yeah, we just need the one gear, and that's all of our explosives in place. That's looking good. I guess they just have to come finish it, and then we can open it, and then we'll have bad water. Tubes would have made Apocalypse mode a lot more bearable. Oh, you bet. Hello, Dark Dragon. That's just about finished. I'm going to turn this other gear production on so we get a little bit quicker. Okay. Now they can come in the tubeways. And if we do this correctly, we just have this go all the way across. And it should be good. Then we'll just have to bring this all the way down this way. Oh, hold on. Got to get rid of this. That is the one annoying thing about the new way that the terrain goes on, is it is very easy to accidentally build an overhang you did not mean to have. That doesn't look bad, honestly. It's kind of neat. Now the question, I know they have access if they walk on top of this. Can they put power shafts from inside the tube? Because if they can, then we can build infrastructure for water wheels before we remove the tubes. It looks like someone's building this. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm not going to obviously make them put that there, but... I don't think it's worth it, honestly, connecting the tubes to this thing, because it would take more time to build that than it would just take for them to build this. High prioritize the dirt. Talking about this? It's already here. Or are you talking about down below? They'll figure it out, and if they don't, then we'll yell at them. I don't want to get rid of the ladders until I'm absolutely certain I don't need them. Because I'm pretty sure they still have to build the pieces directly on top of this bit first. Building on the top. Huh? This dirt's already built. Like, I actually do not know what you're talking about. Like, we're making plenty of dirt. Tube's being built faster than dirt? Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because they can't build the tube unless the dirt's there, so they're going to build the dirt to build the tube. So this says too far from a district and cannot be... Okay, but if this tube is finished and it still says that, then we have a problem. See, now it's fine. It's just gonna, you know, maybe take a little bit longer, but I think they're gonna be okay. I do still have to be able to have these pieces of dirt done, so let's peel this back. That piece, and that piece, and that piece. Gravity batteries are so ugly. Like this is, it's hideous. I really do not like building these things. Plus, they're really expensive. We have the engines and everything too, so I don't know. I never want to build them. People are always like, "I can't believe you don't want to build." It's like, I don't like them. I don't know what you want me to say. See ya. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know that we're going to be streaming too much longer, but I do want to finish this aqueduct at the very least. And I think if we can get our beaver numbers up a tiny bit, I can get a couple more in the builders' huts. We only have these 2 huts, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We just have those 2. I'm not going to keep the tubeway in there because this is a canal for water. Oh, we're having a good time. We're having a good time, Mike. Currently trying to build a big aqueduct to get clean water into our donut here. We expanded the donut a little bit, but then we ran out of bad water. So then I put this bit in. Now we have... Where's my bad water? Where's my bad water? Hello? Knock, knock. When open, maintains bad water flow during droughts. It is a drought. Where is my bad water? Where is my bad water? Mechanistry. Hello? Is that a bug? I feel like that's not a behavior that should have changed. Okay, well. Live bug report, I guess. Oh, they took that button out. Never mind. I guess I can't do that. When you need to go vertically up or down in the playthroughs that are currently going on, you tend to build it straight up or down with supports. Why not make it more in line with the topography? You're talking about tubeways? I don't know. There's not really a good reason. But remember, in vanilla, the regular tubeway can't go vertical. So if I wanted to follow topography here, then I would have to use the 2 different types of tubeways. Which, I mean, doesn't look terrible, but it's easier to just go straight up and then straight out. Let's go ahead and get rid of this so I don't accidentally build anything. I'm not going to go yell at people in Discord. That never solves anything. I can politely say, hey, I think I found a problem. But it gets confused if it's installed during a drought. That seems like a thing that needs to be fixed. Well, regardless, we can't do anything about it. We'll just wait. No, there's no Folktales caps available in the Iron Teeth. Ember Pelts... Oh, Ember Pelts don't have two-ways. Unless I misread what you were saying. Are you talking about an aqueduct? Or are you talking about the transportation? Okay, you realize if I destroy this, I'm going to lose 25% of the materials. And I don't think there's any reason for that to be a thing if it's just going to reactivate during the next temperate cycle. The Beaver Highway... there's no... Are you thinking about the Ember Pelts? Not the Folktales? Okay, you're definitely thinking about the Ember Pelts, yeah. So I guess I read... I am so tired. I guess I read Ember Pelts and said Folktales, or I said Ember Pelts, but my brain said Folktales. Anyway. But the answer is the same anyway. I just... Straight up makes more sense. To me. Didn't want to bring the water in. No, other people suggested that. I like the idea of fun things we can watch getting built at least once. So, we can put tunnels somewhere else, but this goes so low that I just... Like, obviously, it's not the bottom of the map. Like, this is down to, like, 9 or 10. But we'd have to dig down so far to go under all this that we would be below where the bottom of the donut is currently. So that just didn't really seem like something that was worth it that much. I'm not going to restart the game during a stream. That's asking for all sorts of problems. We're just kind of in the situation where we just, you know, deal with it. It is what it is. I've got this centrifuge paused, and we have 42 dynamite. There's not really any more exploding that we absolutely need to do. Obviously, we can get the rest of this set off, but the more important thing right now is getting this aqueduct finished before the end of the drought so we can use it during the temperate season. Yeah. Sorry, it's not a more exciting answer than I just don't want to. I know that's not what you're looking for. So I kind of don't want to put any more dynamite down until we can actually make more. So I guess that's just going to have to be left how it is. Water storage is still not completely full. I don't think it's that big of a problem. There's still plenty of water in the donut. That's not an issue. Okay, I'm glad you corrected that. Like, I was not aware Ecuador was in this game. I was very confused. You want beaver statues along the top of the aqueduct. What purpose would that serve besides just consuming an enormous quantity of metal? Because, you know, the beavers aren't actually going to be going down this. I mean, I guess it would look cool, but... I hear you. I got you. But, you know, that being said, we have the ability to put stuff on top of tubeways. Take a look at, again at... Well, we haven't built any beaver statues because it's not researched. But we could very easily just put in platforms from on top of these junctions and put well-being items on them. I like the dirt overhang ability, but I think removing the natural overhangs is disappointing. Yeah. I mean, like, I never want to be the kind of guy who just comes in and says, like, everything you did is terrible. 'Cause, like, that's not a productive discussion. But I do really miss the natural overhangs. I really, really like the ability to do the dirt just projecting over empty space as long as it's connected within 3 blocks. I think that's really cool. I like that change. But I do miss the natural overhangs. I think they looked really nice. And it was kind of neat to have a cool aspect of the map and the terrain that you had the ability to delete, but not rebuild. It makes you think about trying to incorporate things into a design. But if the only way they were able to make the dirt overhang stuff work was the requirement to take out the natural overhangs, then I guess I'm okay with that. I wish we could have both, though. Wouldn't get along with your dad, that's his primary mode of communication. Yeah, probably not. So this lost just 1 block of height. I guess we could go ahead and empty this. Set this dynamite off. Now, I have the amazing ability to have that go down to the height I want it to. If I can get the camera to play nice. Let's see, where is my blue here? Okay, that is below this outflow, or is it not? I cannot see for the life of me. I think it's going to have to be... yeah, it's got to be one more. It's got to be 2.5. Pretty sure. I mean, this is not enough water to bring... No, come on. Not enough water to bring this back up to 2.5 anyway, but... We got 5.8 days left. There's no reason to have it in here. Do we want to empty the chalice? Do we want to do that? Temporary tubeway is helping. Oh, absolutely, I agree. Yeah, phone autocorrect is an absolute menace. Like, I feel you. But I think it's really cool that they can just build from inside the tubeway. Greedy cup time. Okay, well, that's a completely different thing. I don't think it's possible to build that in Timberborn. But if we open it, it will give us a little bit of water. Get this filled up a tiny bit more. I am pretty happy with this. I think this is cool. It's an interesting structure at the very least. Even if it's not particularly useful, it is pretty cool. Okay, well, we can't get to the top of the chalice. That is going to be very hard. I mean, I could just build ladders, but you know how it goes. Yeah, I had issues... well, the phone that I've been using for like 5 years. I had issues on my previous phone because I had a screen protector on it that would get, like, it wasn't one of those sticky ones. It was part of an OtterBox or whatever that thing was called. But it would get moisture sometimes in between stuff, and then it would just phantom press things. This phone, if the battery is really low, like under 10%, sometimes the keyboard will lag and I'll run into issues. Other than that, I don't have any possible solutions to your issue, unfortunately. But I like this a lot. I think this is pretty cool. So, those of you who wanted this to be a tunnel, I understand, but this still looks really neat. Yeah, I tried turning off autocorrect, but I discovered that I was being corrected so often by autocorrect that it was actually worse to turn it off than it was to just leave it on and deal with the occasional weirdness. Now that that's taken care of, as soon as this is complete, we do need to come back in and remove the tubeway and then put in the rest of our dirt here, which I guess I can go ahead and put this bit in. You guys really want there to be dirt on top of this? I guess I could pull it. Now the pollen's starting to get to me. Why is caps lock on? Okay. Vote now on your phones. Showers, I don't think actually consume water. No. The stream didn't crash. Timberborn just pauses when I click out of it. It doesn't preserve audio. Well, welcome back. Sounds like you had a good time. Well, if you voted yes, but you were joking, then why'd you vote yes? So you can push the water height. Like I don't think it's gonna be a problem. This is a very weak source. Can you get context for the poll? This aqueduct here, some people wanted it to be a tunnel, others didn't. So I said, you know what, I'll just pull it, because we have the ability to put in like a lid on it, which we can either do by just going across, or I am reasonably confident I can put in platforms and then dirt on... Yeah, I can put dirt on top of the platforms like that. Either or. But if people don't want to see it, then it's not going to matter. So, right now, no... Oh, never mind. No was ahead. Now it's not. Highest power water source can be... Well, funnily enough, we have specific experience with this exact issue on a very old playthrough, the Drowned Nightmare Mode playthrough. So, the answer is it basically doesn't have a limit, but the game will only preserve the value across a save file up to 8. I think it was 8. And the problem you're going to run into is the source is going to be too powerful for the waterfall limit, so you get a geyser. Some people have other names for that I'm not going to say out loud. But if you have it set up where it will always have enough edges for the waterfall limit to be satisfied with however much power is coming behind it, then you can just increase the power as much as you want. But we ran into a lot of problems with that. Now, it's also worth noting that tubeways, to my understanding, will work underwater, and it won't have the beavers get wet-furred or poisoned. I'm not sure. So we don't technically have to get rid of this tubeway, but I don't really think there's much merit to keeping it either. At any rate, we got 1.7 days left before the water is going to come back, and it looks like they're going to finish this just in time. Got a couple more pieces to put in. Then I guess we'll see this water come in, and I probably am going to have to end stream so I can, you know, do everything else I need to do. If you suffer from spontaneous irrigation, see your doctor for irrigation lasting longer than 4 hours. Surprise irrigation. The poll is close. How many people have voted? We have 100. Wow, we have 141 people watching. Might not even be time to do dirt on top. Gotta have somewhere where the water can flow. I don't think the two ways block water. I'm pretty sure. Well, we're going to find out. But I am pretty sure that is not an issue. We got one more day to put in the rest of our terrain blocks. I don't technically have to have this last set of 5 here. I guess we'll find out. If you want a dirt cap, remove the tubeway, replace it with the dirt, then tunnel out the dirt, touching overhang and waterproof overhand is way to increase the height of the aqueduct. I also, you know, that's an idea that will definitely work, but I can also just put a platform down, and then impermeable floors on top of the platform would be the same result. Which, if you want it to be covered, we can do that super easy while the tubeway's still there. Devilish! 20. Wow. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love that little, is that a Shiba Inu with a samurai outfit and a #1 flag? It's kind of cute. Why impermeable floors? Because that prevents the water from coming through it. Surprise bad water is worse. Yeah, but we're not going to get surprise bad water because we have... I don't know if it's going to let me click on it from in here. I might have to... There it is. This closes below contamination and it opens above contamination. And it's lower, so it's all just going to come out. And the strength of this, again, is 1. It is very weak. Wouldn't mind seeing platforms with impermeable floor, ceiling, and aqueduct, but I don't think dirt looked too good on top. Yeah, I didn't like it either. That's just way too thick to have 3 blocks of dirt. Don't forget to look at the bad water bugged thing. You are correct. Alright, cycle 28 begins. This should be emitting water if I close it and reopen it. Yeah, okay, this definitely doesn't work. Alright, well, now we know. So we'll just rebuild that in a second. So this is overflowing here because this was in the way. Now, if I just go ahead and get that two-way station out of there, then I can put in dirt. Make that a priority. But you can see the water is advancing down the aqueduct. The tubes are not stopping it at all. So, you know, we could leave the tube here if you want. Layer tool for what? I do not remember why we were looking at the layer tool. Yeah, but there you go. Oh, that kind of looks like a sewage discharge pipe when it's like that. That's actually really cool. I would never have thought to do that. What I was trying to do, and failing apparently, was get my... Alright, come on. There we go. Trying to get the stuff into an area where I can actually collect it. Because that's a lot of resources, and I don't want it to go to waste. That's why I hadn't done anything with it yet. There. Problem solved. Yeah, like, I'm not losing all that. That is so much. That is so much. But we are going to put it right back. Set to open. Alright, yeah, I like this. This is a good choice. And it is sealed up. I do have the option to put the two-way back in. The station back in. But honestly, this kind of looks cool. Just got home from a 6-hour drive just in time to catch the stream. Unfortunately, we're almost at the end, so I'm sorry about that. But we've got some nice stuff done today. Concurrent viewers gone over 150. It's telling me peak could have been 152, maybe? Yeah. I mean, I don't really keep track of that anyway. But this is, I think, pretty stinking cool. Oh, no, period point blank, we've had over 300 before. I'm pretty sure for the Update 6 stuff last summer. Those streams were nuts. There's one of those somebody gave 150 gifted memberships. Yeah, I think we can be pretty happy about this. The donut is filling up. Obviously, we need to continue blasting. So, Danny DeVito is not available. We're going to have to, you know, settle for this. And just pop these back in. Yeah, those are a whole lot of fun. And these are fun, too. Like, I really try not to focus on, like, how many people are in a stream. I just would rather it be a fun thing, regardless of whoever's here. But yeah, that that one stream with 150 gifted memberships was... Oh, here we go. That was... well, you can do the math on how much money that ends up being. But that was a life-changing amount of support in the live stream. Devilish with 20 gifted memberships. Who's got them? Ryfire Creations, Yoda Nap, Harsh Singh, Matt or Danielle Seamster. These are a lot of repeat names. Good to see that. 13, Shanko 13, Brian Mullen, Noe Barzanin, Alex P, Baril Boy. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing these. Carson Sally, Jack Williams, Engelman, Lethera, Jad Games, Guy with Interwebs. I also have interwebs. The Average Porter, unless that's a very bad thing now, which I have no idea, but back in the day that was just a fun way of saying internet, so please don't cancel me. Average Porter, Reese, Fluffy Brew, Animal 101, Sahith, I'm assuming, I think is that how that would be pronounced? Please correct me if that's wrong. But it looks like everybody's got theirs. So thank you very much, Devilish, for the support. I really appreciate it, genuinely. And welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are returning. You got emotes, you got access to early videos, and, you know, every, like, 6 months I might post some random thing. But we're going to have some cool stuff coming up in the next, hopefully next couple months, as we get into some other types of content, and I start working on some other projects as well. So, your support makes it possible to do that, and I'm very, very appreciative, always. Do I play Minecraft? Oh, wow, dude. Okay, I have not played Minecraft in years, but I played so much Minecraft before it came out. Beta 1.2. January 29th or January 30th of 2011. I bought my copy of Minecraft. And I played so much Minecraft for like a year and a half that I got so sick of it. It's like, I never want to play this again. But I've not opened the game in years. I do still have a copy of the game. Because, you know, you don't lose a digital copy of a game unless some stupid company takes it away from you. But I feel like it's just such a saturated, quote-unquote, market for content that it's just like, why should I bother even trying to start making videos on it? I had my fun when I first played the game, and I'm sure it's still fun, but I can't imagine going back to it. For content, at least. And I also can't imagine having the time to just play it for fun with people, either. Like the puppers in Satisfactory, can we check on Gary? Well, I don't know what would have happened to Gary, but here's Gary. And we're real close to this bell, so it's going to be really, really, really loud in about 3 seconds. There you go. Gary should be the picture for signing off. It's supposed to be a raccoon highway. Wait, what? Hoff, what is a raccoon highway? Are you talking about like this? I genuinely don't know what you're referencing. I'm sorry. Oh, you're thinking of, okay, like community Minecraft? That's something I would be open to. I don't know how much time I could dedicate to it, but I'd have to think about it. You do have to be kind of careful with stuff like that because it has to be moderated, or else people are just going to be dumb. I'm not necessarily saying that the people who are in the community would do stuff like that, but Minecraft in particular tends to attract a lot of griefers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, again, there's so much that has to go into doing something like that, that if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure that it's actually going to be good. Which, I don't know, you guys might not really care about. You might just want, like, a fun way to play stuff with people. But if I'm going to have my name attached to it, I want it to, you know, not suck. We'll see. Oh, neat! Okay, well, this flooded because I have it set to close above a downstream depth of 2.5, which there's not really much I can do about it. But drought's coming in. The cup runneth over. The aqueduct is complete. And this is actually working. So, yeah, well and truly a very good stream. I really appreciate the support. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. And I'm excited to see what comes next. We have some drainage problems to fix. But we will see. Not sure if we're going to have a stream next Saturday or what time it might be. I do have some stuff I need to take care of that day, depending on what I end up actually scheduling or not. I will let you know, but hopefully this week we can have a satisfactory stream, and we'll see about getting back into the rest of the stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Really appreciate you guys. Genuinely. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later.